Welcome to the program, everyone. From Rutgers University in New Jersey, Dr. Josh Miller, Professor and Chair of the Nutritional Science Department, is joining us. Dr. Miller is an internationally recognized expert in the biochemistry and physiology of vitamins, with a particular emphasis on their effects on cognitive function and cognitive decline in older adults. Josh, welcome to Global Science.
Thank you very much for having me, Bruce.
Thank you. You're a professor and chair of Rutgers University's Department of Nutrition. Can you explain to our viewers about nutritional sciences?
We conduct basic, translational, and applied nutrition focused on foods and nutrition, and we use research results to improve nutritional habits, general health, and overall well-being of people. Many of our students go on to medical school, nursing school, and graduate schools in biological and medical research. But the majority of our students are preparing to become registered dietitian nutritionists. These are the healthcare professionals who work in hospitals, long-term healthcare facilities, dining facilities, food and supplement companies, and the health and wellness industry.
Now, Josh, what are the hot topics and trends in nutrition?
Well, I would mention 4 areas. The first is the gut microbiome. Our gastrointestinal tracts house billions of bacteria, and we are recognizing more and more that the bacterial populations that make up our gut microbiomes very much influence our health, and that our diets have a major influence on our gut microbiome. The second, which is somewhat related, is the concept of personalized nutrition. This is the idea that different people may respond differently to different diets and have different dietary requirements. So as a broad example, with respect to, say, obesity and risk of diabetes, you might benefit most because of your genetics by eating a low-fat diet, while I might be genetically predisposed to benefit more from a low-carbohydrate diet. So except for eating more fruits and vegetables and more fiber, which pretty much applies to everybody, the idea of a one-size-fits-all diet is not really true. Thus, this idea of personalized nutrition. The third area is the growing problem of climate change and sustainability of our food systems. Climate change is not only affecting how much food we can grow, but also, and this is not very well known, the actual nutritional value of that food. So will we be able to provide enough nutritious food for the global population in the coming decades? So last is my area of research, which is nutrition and aging, particularly age-related cognitive decline and risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. The fastest growing component of the global population is the oldest of the old, people 80 years of age and older. And Alzheimer's disease and dementia is a critical health problem, dare we say epidemic, in the coming decades. So we are asking if good nutrition can slow or even prevent age-related cognitive decline and dementia.
The healthcare and health functional food market have grown rapidly during the COVID-19 pandemic. What do you think are the reasons for this rapid increase?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I would suggest to you that the pandemic really made people think about their health, particularly since we had to spend a lot of time at home feeding ourselves. Many of us gained weight during this period, and many have been affected mentally, and many of us are interested in whether diet and perhaps supplements might protect us against COVID or even mitigate its effects.
Now, what is your view on the future of the nutritional supplements market after the pandemic?
Yeah, so I think it will continue to thrive. People are very interested not only in preventing disease, but optimizing their health. They don't only want to be healthy, they also want to achieve wellness, which goes beyond just not having a disease. They want to be physically and mentally vigorous well into their old age. And there's a belief that nutritional supplements, and this may be true in some cases, that they will help with that. However, caveat emptor, buyer beware. The promises of many supplements may be overstated, or worse, they may be empty promises.
Now, the Delta variant is now spreading around the world. How is the situation in the United States?
Well, like many areas in the rest of the world, the Delta variant is the fastest growing variant in the United States, but its growth rate is regional. Areas of the country have relatively high rates of vaccination. Those are experiencing less of the Delta variant than those areas that have low vaccination rates. So here in the New York, New Jersey region of the country, we are near or above 70% vaccination of adults with at least one dose of the vaccine. But there are many states where the vaccination rate is 50% or even lower. And what we heard today was that people who get severely ill from the Delta variant are those that are not vaccinated. It's very striking.
Now, is there a correlation between nutrition and immunity from the coronavirus?
Yes, we believe so. First of all, there is strong evidence that being overweight or obese puts you at much greater risk of infection and much greater risk of having severe symptoms. Also, several vitamins and minerals such as vitamin D, vitamin B12, and zinc are very important for the immune system. So, for example, large proportions of the population have low or deficient vitamin D levels for various reasons. And there is good correlative data that low vitamin D status increases your risk from COVID.
Now, Josh, finally, can you recommend any promising sectors to our viewers today?
Based on my experience in the higher education industry, and this is likely true for all levels of education, promising sectors are those that support online education. While this fall we are moving back towards in-person instruction at Rutgers University, I believe that some level of remote instruction will become a permanent fixture in our educational programs. So I would suggest the video conferencing technology sector will continue to thrive, things like Zoom and WebEx and Microsoft Teams. But I would also suggest that companies that provide what are called learning management systems, where professors and teachers can provide access to classroom materials, accept and review homework assignments, upload and report grades, and administer and proctor exams, are going to be really, really important moving forward. Last, with respect to diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think technology companies that are working to close the digital divide by increasing access to and reliability of the internet should be invested in.
Dr. Josh Miller, professor and chair of the Department of Nutrition at Rutgers University in the lovely state of New Jersey and former outstanding wrestler, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That does it for us this week. Thank you so much for being with us. Until we meet next week, please be safe and healthy.